What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, y'all. I just wanted to drop in for a real quick video, not about anything gaming. Well, I guess it could be gaming wise, but that is, if you hadn't been watching the news, they legalized sports gambling in the United States. Now, it's been legal through offshore type things and stuff like that. People have been doing a lot of this stuff under the covers and stuff like that. But it's legalized on a grand scale in the US now. Now, this will, I think it's, at first I was like, well, people are gonna gamble anyway, but with it being on a grand scale, it opens it up for your average Joe to do it. You're gonna see mobile apps dedicated to gambling, sports gambling during live games and things like that. I mean, there's huge profits to be made here and tons of business opportunities. But there's also a downside, and I think a downside so huge that either they will illegalize it, or this could be the end of sports as we know it. Now, a lot of conspiracy theories go on already about sports and how games are rigged and stuff like that. This will most certainly add a ton of fuel to the fire. There's going to have to be committees that are going to be dedicated to stopping certain things from happening or investigating certain things. Because, y'all, if gambling, which it is legal, once it gets on a grand scale, once it catches fire, you're gonna have big issues. You're gonna have people going to these players saying, hey, I left 100 grand in your room. All I need you to do is throw your first pass to such and such. I don't know too many people that's gonna turn down 100 grand for stuff like that. You know, I mean, so I know it's gonna be legal. There are gonna be rules in place, but you gotta know that people are going to exploit the heck out of this. My biggest concern is not so much with professional sports, because they're already getting paid. Is with collegiate sports. And how this could affect the gaming world? Well, I think that the NCAA eventually, I don't think the NCAA is ever gonna pay its players to play. And that's bogus, because they're gonna make profits off of sports gambling. And the NCAA is already making billions of dollars off of these student athletes, while they're not getting paid anything. And I used to be a proponent of, man, you know, you go to some of these big time schools, the opportunities that you're getting from these things, a free education, you know, and that's still a factor, y'all, because at the end of the day, these guys are getting anywhere from $30,000 up to over hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of education, gear, equipment, training, as well as a pipeline to professional sports such as the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB. So, I mean, yeah, they are getting paid in a sense, but at the same time, no, it's not. It really just depends on the program, and it depends on the players. And I can see why they haven't paid the players, because then you would have everybody just going to the biggest programs, which everybody tries to do anyway. But that's not an issue, because it's up to the coaches who they want to play for their programs. So y'all see, there's really a tug of war going, a lot of back and forth. But with the legalization of sports gambling, y'all, it's going to be even more heat to pay these players, because you're going to have people, now you have us as individuals able to profit off of these players who aren't making anything. But then it backs me up to that point that these players, you know, I went to Southern Arkansas. It was a Division II school. It cost about, I say between $30,000 and $45,000 for 4 years of college there. And that just depends on what you're majoring in, because every major has different credits and stuff like that. So, you know, and then my cousin went to SMU, played running back out there, and they had, I mean, it was $30,000 just for 1 year there, you know. So that's something to keep in mind, you know, because, you know, in the schools, they're high, man. But these guys, like I told you, they would stay in hotel rooms for home games, pizzas. They get their own pizza. It wasn't no cake, man. The equipment. I mean, I know they were sponsored, but still, I mean, and these schools rake in millions. And then there's the issue of, well, who do you pay more? The football players, the baseball player, you know. So, I mean, it's a lot of red tape, y'all. But with this betting thing, it's going to allow your average Joe like me and you to even jump in and make a profit where these players aren't. But in the same breath, like I said, y'all, these guys are getting hundreds of $1,000s worth of training, sports training, as well as free education, meals, travel. Like, dude, the amount of money that they spend on these athletes, the facilities, it's insane. So it kind of does come back to them in a way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody off the street can walk and try on for an NFL team, but it's a heck of a lot harder than if you're coming out of, say, Alabama, a 4-year starter out of the University of Alabama. You basically got a red carpet rolled out to you into the NFL. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of comes in and goes with its own premise. But with sports betting, you can have a lot of these college players making money off of this. You're gonna have college players that are gonna get their hands dirty in this, and I don't blame them, because they're not getting money in their pockets unless they get a refund check, which that's still not gonna be that much, because it's gonna require them to do grants and stuff like that. It doesn't give you that much. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Now, where the biggest opportunity comes in is where if somebody can start a collegiate football league that allows the players to be paid to play, look out. I'm thinking the NAIA, which is separate from the NCAA, they're not as big as the NCAA, but if they allow players to be paid to play, it's only a matter of time before they get that big. My brother went to college at Langston, which is an NAIA school. Mary Hardin Baylor, I think they're NCAA. It may be NAIA. There's NAIA schools out there, which are colleges that are not a part of the NCAA, that still, you know, play college and stuff like that. Those leagues like that could allow the college players to be paid, and they would grow. I'm telling you, they would grow bigger than the NCAA, because students are going to start going to these schools so that they can make some money, especially if they say, hey, you know, the school gives you a portion of, well, they're not going to give them a portion of the gambling stuff. But I'm telling y'all how them legalizing gambling, and once it gets on a larger scale to like the general public, where we have it in our apps and stuff at the games and all that, and these players start taking advantage of it illegally, because I know the NCAA is not going to allow it. But y'all, I'm telling you, welcome to the end of college sports as you know it. Welcome to the end of professional sports, man, because if these players start taking these bribes and things like that, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. Because, yeah, they can bring a committee in to, you know, try to mitigate and regulate these things. But, dude, on the scale that these athletes are, man, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. In these cases, they're going to cost a lot of money, the investigation. I mean, to me, personally, this is one of the worst things that could have ever happened to sports. For college players, if they end up paying the players now that's my only way I can see this working out for college, is that the NCAA decides, hey, we're going to start paying these players so that they're not accepting outside money to throw games. If they start doing that, congratulations NCAA, congratulations to 2K, EA Sports, whoever, because then you're going to be able to put out a college football game again, use their likeness. That's going to work out for us. It's going to work out for the college players. Everybody's happy. To me, that's the best way that this situation works out, is that they say, hey, we need to go ahead and pay these college players, because if we don't, they're going to do back end deals. It's going to throw games. It's going to cost us even more money. Blase, blase. That's how it is. That's my take on it, y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell icon for notifications. Till next time, God bless.